I am Dr. P, your ageless hip hop fan, around the way girl, and hip hop rap music and R&B sophisticate. Check it out. I got merch, and when we're done, don't forget, check out the more section. Check out the link to my merch store. You may find something you like. I have some culture doc stuff that would be great for like the new resident who just got a short coat, the new PhD, um, MPs, PAs, all of the things. Just support how you can. Today, y'all, this is a good subject. Like, this is a real life. I don't know, who would y'all say right now is hip hop royalty? Like, I know there's a lot of hip hop artists and R&B and people in the space that are married, but like the most powerful power couples in hip hop right now, I would say that Beyonce and Jay-Z will probably be the number one biggest power couple in hip hop. Would y'all say Beyonce and Jay-Z are probably the most, like the number one, the top hip hop power couple in hip hop right now? I got a Jay-Z and Beyonce vote. And then I would say, if I had to say a number two, if I had to say a number two person, like a number two power couple in hip hop right now, it would be ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. Aside from the fact, like, that they're just super cute together. They've been together like 10 years, and I want to talk about their story because I've just been seeing, since the New York Knicks won this NBA finals thingy, ASAP been everywhere. And guess who been right tagging along with him? Right on his side. It's been Rihanna. And people are just blowing up Rihanna, acting like it's a bad thing that she's out here supporting her man. And it just made me wonder what we as Black women feel like, how we're supposed to support our partner, and what that looks like in Black America, not just hip hop, when it comes to what the expectation is for being in a relationship with a powerful woman or successful Black woman in the space of Black culture. Because it takes a really strong Black man who has been healed of past trauma and cyclic expectations to really be in a space where they can thrive and function with a powerful, successful, rich Black woman. And it takes a special kind of successful, powerful, rich Black woman to be in a space where they make a Black man feel wanted and supported, needed and seen in this space, despite the spotlight being on her all of the time. And it also takes a special Black woman who can marry the two, dim her light in such a way but still shine, so that her Black man knows that he's loved. And I see this displayed with Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Like, they really live their love out loud. It just kind of takes me back when I'm thinking about it, like, how do global superstars stay together when the whole world is watching them? Like, one of the toughest men in hip hop, ASAP Rocky, was facing years behind bars. The verdict is read. Just picture this. Take yourself back. They read the verdict in court. And before he says a word, Rocky jumps 3 spaces, probably a half a mile over, and the first thing he does, without missing a beat, Like he ain't talking to nobody. Rocky ain't playing with y'all. Before Rocky says a word,
Mayors, case number BA 08142-01. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Raheem Mayers, not guilty of
is where he leaps across the courtroom and into Rihanna's arms.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Oh, to find a love like that. My goodness. Oh, to find a love like that. Let me tell you, I was watching that, and when I watched that court hearing, when A$AP Rocky was found not guilty and he leaped across the courtroom into Rihanna's arms, I cried. I know you think it was my hormones, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I cried because at that moment I started to believe in Black love again. How many times have Black women held down the Black man in this community? And this was a perfect example of a hold down. Because in that moment, we weren't experiencing a rap star or billionaires. We were looking at a man who knew exactly who had been holding him down. And with A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, they live their love out loud, and he holds her down. Never sits in an interview and not give her honor. And the same with Rihanna. I know that people like Beyonce probably with Hove and Michelle Obama, even with Barack, President Obama, Oprah, these women have a challenge. And the challenge is to stay themselves and move around in an environment where they control outcomes and yet minimize enough to compliment a powerful man and make him feel seen. So today we're talking about Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. You can see that. I got off to a challenge of a start, but you guys can see why people in the industry would be jealous of this couple. Like I see, of course, on social media, and that's my guy, where anytime Rihanna pops up and honors her man, somebody got some slick talking out the side of their mouth about this woman. When in all actuality, we should be observing how they live out loud and honoring their relationship. So Rihanna and A$AP, it says, detailed their relationship as first actually meeting in 2012. In 2012, Rocky and Rihanna met when Rocky was her opening act on her on her tour, and she said that they were just friends. I love this article, and I want to give a shout out to Vogue magazine, who wrote this article in 2025. Emma Spector. I'm going to share a little bit of this with you. It says, like any right-thinking human being, I only want the best for Rihanna. So I've been thrilled to watch the evolution of the 37-year-old, now 38-year-old singer and beauty mogul, heartwarming relationship with rapper A$AP Rocky. This goes on to say that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky first met during rehearsals for a performance at their 2012 MTV Video Music Awards. Their relationship began not with a bang, but with a squeeze. Rocky cupped Rihanna's backside. Her team wanted to complain. Rihanna said, nah, let it go. Rihanna said, let it go. At that moment when she said, let it go, she probably already realized she was on to something. Rihanna said, nah, let it go. And it wasn't until Rihanna shares in the same article that she and Rocky were friends. They shared clothes, they shopped, they shared creative ideas. And in 2016, in 2019, I think, when they were locked down with COVID, I want to say they didn't begin their relationship till around that time. This article actually goes on to say that Rihanna confirmed in this same Vogue interview that the ASAP Rocky took fashion inspiration from her, and ASAP took fashion inspiration from each other. But it wasn't until the end of 2019 that we got together. We've known each other for a long time. I've seen him in relationships. He's seen me in relationships. We've seen each other outside of relationships. We knew what we were capable of, the trouble that we would bring each other. We can make or break each other's heart. I just kind of wanted to go deeper and talk about Black relationships with powerful women, and how we view and the expectation of relationships in the Black culture. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I was coming up, I knew of couples who had been married for years. They didn't live like married couples. They were sometimes each in other relationships, living with other people, and even had children with other people. But they were still married to each other. And I often wonder, why in Black culture do we stay married to people that we're not in a relationship with? And the flip side of that is, does marriage really matter when it comes to commitment and expectations in relationships? And of course, everybody who's watching by now knows I'm a preacher's kid, raised in the church. And so marriage vows mean a lot to me. They're sacred, and it really informs how I feel about couples and relationships. But with a lot of these powerful couples now, like Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's relationship, marriage is not always the gauge for whether or not they feel like they're committed. And I'm just wondering what you guys think. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments here about whether or not we think that in our Black community, whether or not we think that marriage is a precursor for a committed relationship. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think marriage is a precursor for relationships. Some of you guys took the poll, and it looks like the poll is saying that no, we don't think that marriage is necessarily a precursor for relationships anymore. Do we think the Bible is wrong? Or do we just think that relationships evolved? Now, I don't want to get in the weeds, though, about religion here, but a lot of very public, high-profile relationships, have more in the weeds to lose than we do. right? Because they have families and brands and companies and workers and a lot more to consider when it comes to joining together with another person. And I don't know that riches should be a gauge of whether or not you should be married. People like Oprah never did. But Rihanna and Rocky seems to be thriving in their relationship, not being married. Of course, most of you guys know that they have 2 kids between them. I kind of wanted to share also, though, with you what they're saying online about Rocky and Rihanna. First off, these two been clowning up a storm since the Knicks won. Since the Knicks won the Super Bowl. So I just want to take you guys back through their love story here. Y'all, I'm getting FOMO. I'm getting FOMO because Rihanna is out here loving her man out loud. And traditionally, it's not something that we've been kind of supported in doing as Black women. I think because we haven't been supported with living, like loving out loud as Black women, sometimes we're embarrassed to do so. But we should at least take some pointers from Rihanna and how she loves her man out loud. And it really could be why their relationship has lasted, because we're talking about upwards of almost 10 years. I'll let Rihanna tell you herself how she feels about this man.
Okay. And this is my nigga.
Bam!
Yeah. Baby daddy. Fight back.
Okay, your baby daddy's on tour.
Wife has been lost.
Your baby daddy's on tour. How you feel about it?
Wife has been brought back.
Okay.
Oh my God, look. Right there.
Damn. Baby daddy, okay.
I know.
And y'all, people aren't as happy to see Rihanna happy as y'all are, because let me just kind of show you. Let's go through these comments and see what people are saying about Rihanna. And I'm wondering if it's just, is it in our nature as Black women to be jealous of Black women when they're in love? Like, we tend to find jealousy in lots of things, and sometimes it's not altogether the best thing. You can see in this post, I actually stepped out and supported Rihanna. I said she's supposed to be like this about her partner. What would you expect? I actually went on to share one of my experiences, but the person who posted this said Tyler wasn't lying. And this was in reference to another star who went online and claimed Rihanna was rude to her because she was standing next to Rocky. Now, Tyler is a beautiful woman, but I doubt, watching this man love his old lady out loud like this, that Rocky was disrespecting her in any way. This ex Sarah, shout out to Sarah Ella, says, proudly calling yourself a baby mama instead of a wife is annoying and pissing me off. How y'all feeling about that in the chat? Why is it Megan? I agree with you, Jay Wilson. Everyone is not built for marriage. And I don't know, there are some statistics that show that people who live together before marriage, the likelihood of them divorcing is high. There's a high divorce rate among people who live together before marriage. But I think if you're a high-powered couple with a lot of things to use, I honestly think that you have more to consider, and the table isn't set the same for you. Like your money and your reason and challenges aren't mine. And I do live by the Bible. Hey, Regal Love. Regal says relationships shouldn't be defined by getting married, being the end goal all the time. Those expectations cause a lot of problems, especially in the world when it comes to money and fame. And like, I don't know, because I don't want to start bashing black men because this is celebrating black love. Because unless you're with a healed black man, and I'm speaking from a black woman's perspective, unless you're with a healed black man, if you are hardworking, a type A woman, you are going to have some challenges navigating that relationship, because statistically and in cyclic kind of mode, black men bring a lot of trauma, and they're already feeling, and I'm projecting my own thoughts on the other people. They're already feeling some pushback from the world when they walk in your house. And now you become the corrector and the confidant, and you know all of the secrets and the things. And so navigating a space of being friends and being lovers becomes a really sticky place. Now, I did see some studies, one speaker showed on a TED Talk. It was a psychologist who said Americans are the only population of people who expect their partner to be everything. She went on to say, Americans expect their partner to be their lover, their friend, their buddy, their protector. Other cultures don't expect all of these things from one person. And that's why it's really important that you have outside interest in relationships, because if you are dependent on your partner to be all of these things, you're going to be headed for a letdown. And when it comes to Rihanna and Rocky, I noticed that Rihanna is very lenient toward his outside endeavors. I see him on tour. He's out. He has a big bubbly personality, and she honors that, and she allows him to the space to be that. But it seems that the people online don't really like it that much. Blueberry says Tyler said what she said, but never hear Rihanna speak this way before. So now people online are claiming that Rihanna is only showing face because she has some jealous kink. I don't believe that, because this woman held this man down through so many different court cases and an album and his career, and they just, to me, are doing the things that they ought to do. Now, of course, they both have brands that matter, and they honor those brands too. But one of the reasons I can tell you that Rihanna and Rocky match is because they match energy. Take a listen to what she said here.
Let's go. What is a common misconception about you? Y'all don't know me. I'm ghettos.
Now, here, let me let y'all hear one more time.
Go. What is a common misconception about you? Y'all don't know me. I'm ghettos.
There you go. They match energy. If you can find your friend and match energy in a relationship, oh my goodness. I always say that about me. Look, I went to school, I got all the degrees, I go to work, I'm professional. But look, in my personal life, I'm still from around the way. I'm from around the way, rough around the edges. And I really hope, and most of my best relationships, and I hope my next one, is a person who can match that energy, who can see me through the eyes of who I really am, not who you think I am. And I think Rihanna and Rocky have mastered that. I think she found someone who can see her for who she is, and he found someone who can see him for who he really is behind the persona. Now, bear in mind, ASAP Rocky is from New York. Rihanna is from the islands. That probably really helps a lot because women in other cultures, other than American culture, they don't expect their man to be everything. And they have a whole lot of leniency for forgiveness. So real quick, let's check out the comments again before we go any further. Y'all get into this conversations. Knicks with the NBA championship. Yes, and look, Rocket was doing all the things too, y'all. All the things. And you think Rihanna was behind him, doing them? Knicks with that win. Knicks with that win. And just to honor that win for y'all, in the context of this conversation, here's Riri and Rocky on the New York street.
Watch out, everybody watch out. Watch out, watch out. $2 for $1, $2 for $1, $2 for $1. $2 for $1, $2 for $1. One more.
Let's go, Riri. Now, y'all watch the way this man picked this woman up. Which one of y'all don't want to be picked up? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Which one of y'all, if you're a woman on this stream, which one of y'all don't want to be picked up? Say it. Say I'm a lie. We all want to be picked up. No wonder she loves this man out loud like that. Everybody want to be picked up. Every woman wants to be picked up. Hey, Regal. Regal says, who's to say what the Bible defines marriage is? I know, right? Because we know now that we're smarter and we got more Black theologians that the Romans reconstructed this Bible to make it sound like what they wanted it to sound like. Right? And there's been depictions that maybe Jesus and Mary had a fling, but y'all don't make me get into the weeds of religion right now, because I'm a Christian and I ain't trying to get into it with these people. But the construct of marriage, I think, is about commitment and honoring each other in a relationship. And I believe that God gave permission for this without boundaries. So what are y'all's thoughts about marriage in the Black community and the way we've been taught to perceive this and the way it really is? All right, Sarah says, please talk to her about going into business with Jay-Z. With Jay-Z. I believe Rihanna was really young when she encountered Jay-Z. And I'm not totally convinced that Jay-Z was bad for her. I think Jay-Z gets a lot of bad rap, and that's probably a conversation for another day. But now that she has a good team around her, she's a billionaire now. I feel confident that they're probably advising her in a manner that to her advantage. So y'all, if you're late popping in, thank you for coming through. I'm really happy to see you guys. But we're talking about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Black love, fame, jealousy, and what it really takes to build a relationship when everybody's got an opinion about your relationship. Because I'm feeling like there's probably women throwing themselves at Rocky. How do you propose that Rihanna handles other women in the space, because I mean Rocky is just he's very handsome. And now they have 3 children. She's, undoubtedly gained a little weight, although she's still very beautiful. She's probably a little bit insecure because she's a woman. Her body's changing. She's a mother. There's more demands on her in that space. But he never misses. Now, I'm saying in public. I don't know about in private, but he never misses in public to honor her, which is one of the reasons why she probably loves him so much. I'm like you, Sarah Hensey. I'm like you. I really love this couple together. I think these girls are jealous. Rocky's still a young, successful superstar, and they would love to get in her ear. They would love to get in her ear. She does live her love out loud, unlike Beyonce. Beyonce lives her love very privately. And I think it works to her advantage with Jay, especially given some of the rumors, the past rumors and the relationship challenges they've had. I just hope that she's careful while she's living her love out loud like that. Regal says, I saw another YouTuber who hated the term. Let me see. I seen another YouTuber who hated the term black love because the joy of it is entangled with struggle. I think I call it black love because I like to see black people together. Even though I'm single, I love love. I remember my brother once told me, you're just in love with being in love. I am. I love togetherness and companionship. But I think love looks different on everybody, and everybody's relationship is different. But I also think that everybody who's in love, no matter what their race, ethnicity, I think there's some struggle that comes with relationships, period. I once heard Darius Daniels say, your greatest joy and your greatest pain will likely come from the same person. So the person that we get our greatest joy from, we get our greatest pain from. And those relationships are hard. But I also remember when I was walking out of the movies one day, and I saw this little old lady and this little old man holding hands. They had to have been 70 something, y'all, maybe 80. I remember thinking to myself, how do you stay in a relationship that long and still want to hold that man's hand? I've told this story before, and I remember going to the studio, and that's when I used to sing. And I remember telling the producer, Lloyd Daly was there that day, and I said, how do they hold this kind of relationship? And he said the word that was the most powerful. He said history. And I know you use the word struggle, but I'm using the word history because I think couples do have to go through something to build character in relationships. And that's with 2 friends, to a parent and a child, and a husband and a wife. And if you can overcome those struggles and understand what each other's expectations are, I believe that it builds character. I don't think any human, no matter what the relationship is without struggle, even friendships. But black love, I love seeing it because the structure, the enemy is against it. No one wants to see it. White people don't want to see black love. That means that we're uniting and we're together and we have a unified front. The enemy doesn't want to see black love. That means that God is winning. Your friends, some of your enemies don't want to see black love because that means that they're jealous and you got something they don't want. Black love scares people because it's so powerful. When you get a unified front from a black household, you can conquer the world. So I think that's a nice little like transition into why people criticize Rihanna and Rocky's relationship so much. I mean, they don't look unhappy, but people want to claim that they're unhappy. So maybe the idea of a successful woman prioritizing the person she loves is foreign to people. They were single people sometimes can be jealous and not know and envious. Like I know that humans, there's studies that show that humans are put here, they should bond. And if without bonding, you will die. It's one of the hierarchies required for living. And bonding between people that you love matters. A good hug up to 20 seconds releases endorphins as powerful as caffeine, and that mirrors maybe the effects of cocaine. And so being in a relationship really pushes out endorphins and makes you happy. I think people probably are inwardly jealous anyway. Riri has a really good fan base and they support her entirely. And I like her fan base over the Barbs because they're encouraging, they love her music, they're supportive, they're not mean to other fan bases. They just are fans of Riri's music, which goes to show how powerful she is in this relationship because Rihanna hasn't put out an album probably since 2016. And she's still just as much in demand as ASAP, but she chooses to put him first in their relationship. Always. She doesn't get in the way. You know, Drake is a hater and he goes, your baby mama didn't post your album. I realize that Rihanna is very measured and she doesn't get in front of ASAP's fame at all. She allows his fame to exist in this place and she compartmentalizes hers very well. It must be an islander's kind of woman's upbringing. I would love to have a long talk with Rihanna's mother because she had to get some of this guidance and some of her culture that she brings into this relationship from probably elders around her. But can a woman be powerful, successful, and still choose a partnership without settling? I think so. I would hate to see a world where Rihanna had to compromise. And it feels like she's found her equal with ASAP because he doesn't at all try and dim her light. He actually boosts her up every chance he gets. I've never seen this man in an interview where he didn't shout out this woman. He looks at this girl like he just met her. I mean, just watch this again.
Mandatory. Watch out, everybody watch out. Watch out. First shot. Two for $1, $2 for $1, $2 for $1. $2 for $1, $2 for $1. One more.
Now y'all wait, he's gonna pick up. I'm telling you, who don't want to be picked up? Who don't want to be picked up? Y'all lying if you say you do not want to be picked up. Because every woman wants to be picked up. So, do y'all think Rocky is jealous of Rihanna? I mean, he's one of the few men who gets criticized all the time about his love for Rihanna. Rihanna's not doing this. Rihanna's not doing that. Yep, Regal. Regal says her man's her biggest cheerleader. Man, I'm telling you, if I had a man, I kind of don't even care what you said to me at home. If you hype me up in public, hype me up in a public space. Hold my hand when everybody's looking. Call my name from among 100 people sitting in the audience. Hype me up. That will make. I'll stay with you 100 years, at least a year. You once a year is all you got to do. If you just show everybody else you look, I'm telling you, a woman doesn't require. A black women don't require much. We don't require much to love hard. All you got to do is show that you love us hard back. We don't require very much. But I don't think Rihanna needs to even compare herself in a space. She's such an outlier the way she loves him. She doesn't love him the way anyone else has loved anyone else. She holds his hand, she supports him, she backs him up, she calls his name, she shares clothes with him, she allows him to be free. And then she welcomes him home. And the way she looked at this man on the red carpet at the Met Gala, I knew that after all these years, she still loves him just as hard. I only have one more thing to show y'all before we get gone. All right, people. This is what I want to share. Okay. Are we hearing it? Hey, couch potato. I know, Regal, that scream Riri let out when they said not guilty was everything. It was everything. I was hoping I could play it.
Not get the audience. Or not get the audience.
Hold down, hold down. 508142-01. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Raheem Mayers, not guilty.
Have a seat.
Get the audience. Not get the audience.
Y'all, I cried. And when I saw Rocky gallivanting around the countryside all over New York after this Knicks win, all I could think about was Rihanna and Rocky's love. I think it should be commendable in this day and time to be able to love out loud in such a high-profile relationship. I honor them. I honor her mother who taught her that it was okay to love a black man out loud. I honor Rocky's mother who taught him that it's okay to accept love from a black woman out loud and to honor it back. I respect that it appears that they're not letting people get in their ear, change their perspective over their love. I think we should be giving more shine and giving more spotlight to the fact that we love each other in hip hop. It's not all about rap battles. It's not all about botting streams. It's not all about who's got the most money and who's got the most bling. Sometimes, all the time, hip hop tells all of our stories. It tells our stories of love and loss. Maybe the season Rihanna and A$AP Rocky keeps working. Maybe the reason they keep working is not just because it's perfect. Maybe it's just because they figured out something that the rest of us are still trying to learn. We can learn from this young couple. I know that they're 37, but I haven't been 37 in 10 years, maybe 15. But fame doesn't keep people together, y'all. Money don't keep them together. Public approval don't keep them together. What keeps people together is choosing each other every day over and over again. I love seeing young people choose love again because there was a time when people didn't. And even when the world thinks that it knows what's best for your relationship, y'all, if that courtroom moment taught us anything, it's that when life gets real and the only opinion that matters is the person waiting to catch you when you fall over 3 pews into their arms. Like I said, I'm proud of hip hop for a lot of moments. I was proud of hip hop last week, the way they stood up for Carmelo Anthony. I was proud of hip hop when it stood up for Kendrick Lamar in that rap beef when he was being bullied by the industry. There are moments in hip hop that makes me proud. I was proud when hip hop stood up for the Clips. And I'm proud when I look at A$AP Rocky and Rihanna's relationship, the way they love out loud. And we in hip hop should be calling out mistakes, even from the people we love, holding people accountable. But we should also call out when people are doing remarkable things. And Rihanna and Rocky loving out loud just makes me happy. I'm going to the comments, and then we tricking out of here. Hey, Regal Love, thank you so much for joining me on my live today. I love the fact that they both still grounded after money, fame, scandals, failures. They both still showing up in public. And thank God for it. Y'all, we're going to pray over them too, because I don't want to be all about just music. I want to be about Black culture here, and we're going to keep them in our prayers. Couch Potato said he jumped on really like it was his life. Let me tell you, somebody had been praying over them in that house. They were waiting on that blessing, and when it came, they caught it in a bottle. All right, I thank you guys for joining me today, Sarah. They are strong women in that culture. They are. S. Jack, I wonder if it was because that is their experience, which makes their point valid. Yeah. Y'all, marriage is not for everybody. And Rihanna and A$AP Rocky seems to be making this work. Thank you guys for joining me on my live. I appreciate you weathering through my technical difficulties. I hope you join me back next Tuesday on live. We are going to be talking about Michelle and Barack Obama's museum, maybe. I haven't decided. But either way, even if you're late, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, neighbors, for stopping back by the house. Have a great rest of your day.